Live from Bourne Park at the end of tonight's game, fans, we are going to be at the end of the first quarter of the season. Hello and welcome in to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Jordan Palazzo here alongside Sam Wiederhaft. The Bourne Braves taking on the Chatham Anglers for the third time in 4 games. And Sam, like I said, we're coming to the end of the first quarter here tonight. If you could, please, the Braves sit at 4-6 right now. What has been the story so far throughout the season?
Well, the story, Jordan, has simply just been the inconsistency of this team. The pitching has certainly been one constant thing that we know that the Bourne Braves can rely on. There's been a few inconsistencies with that, especially game one of the first game against Chatham on Sunday, where the Braves were allowed 8 runs. And then you talk about last Sunday against Orleans, where they gave up 9 runs, but the pitching's been mostly there. The hitting, on the other hand, is not.
Right.
They rank last in runs scored, last in batting average in the entire league. They've certainly struggled, and we've seen that every single game. Now, whether the batting can show up here tonight, well, I guess we'll see. But that's been the one big thing this season, is the struggling on offense.
And for the Braves, they've been making a lot of moves transaction-wise, Sam. We're seeing a lot of new faces. Nick Bruiser, we saw make his debut against YD. Cade Beloso is in the lineup tonight. Giovanni DiGiacomo from LSU is here. Kerry Wright, a relief pitcher. What do we know about these new faces?
Well, yeah, I think the one big thing we know, especially for the offensive guys, is that's definitely going to be what this team needs for hitting.
Yeah.
Cade Beloso, who we're going to see tonight for the first time this season, batted .279 at LSU in a very tough SEC conference. So I think that's going to be one big thing that a lot of these new people coming in are going to provide, is hitting on offense.
And right you are, Sam, and the Braves are also losing a couple players tonight because of USA tryouts, Team USA tryouts, where they'll be taking part in a little bit of a process over there, Sam, won't they?
Yeah, certainly. And the Braves have already felt that, losing their shortstop, Alika Williams, and right fielder, Alec Burleson, to those Team USA tryouts. Now, the Team USA tryouts consist of a few games of scrimmaging against each other, and a full-on schedule all summer, playing teams such as China, Japan, and playing those basically until about mid-July, where at that point, some players can actually decide to come back here. Now, Braves, losing Alika Williams is going to be tough. Alika had batted upper 200s while he was here. Alec Burleson certainly struggled, had a walk-off hit, but after that, we didn't see him on the base paths really that much at all. No hits for him after that as well. So they'll go off, try out for Team USA, and I guess kind of plays in their favor that Chatham doesn't have Spencer Torkelson today either.
Yeah, that's another big absence for the A's on the other side of the base pass. First pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock here. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, first pitch and the starting lineups here from Bourne Park, and you're watching it on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Just moments away here from first pitch at Bourne Park as the 4-6 Braves sitting in fourth place in the West Division get ready to take on the 7-4-1 first place Chatham Anglers. Let's go over the starting lineup for the Anglers. Tyler Dones leads things off playing second base, followed by Caden Polkovich out in center field. Jamal O'Gwyn in a 3-spot tonight, who hit the grand slam against the Braves, the first game of that doubleheader last week, sits playing left field. Charlie Welch catching is in the cleanup spot. Alex Terrell in first, playing in the 5th position here tonight. Paxton Wallace DHing in the 6th hole. Ben Ramirez at short, batting 7th. Jorge Arenas playing 3rd in the 8th spot. And rounding out the lineup is Drenis Ozuna in right field. And on the mound for the Braves tonight is the ace of this team, Harrison Rakowski.
Yeah, it'll certainly be fun, Jordan, to watch Harrison Rakowski tonight. The last time we saw him was last Monday when he faced Harwich at Harwich in a wonderful start. 6 innings pitched, only allowing 3 hits, striking out 6, no earned runs, and gathered the win. He has certainly proved himself to be the ace on this team. This will be his 3rd game started. He actually started opening day against Orleans, comes in with a solid 1.80 ERA, pitching 10 complete innings on the year, only allowing 2 runs and striking out 11. So, Jordan, I don't know about you, but I am very excited to see our ace, the lefty, Harrison Rakowski.
Yeah, you and me both, Sam, just because he has been that backbone that this starting pitching staff has needed. Defensively for the Braves, they're looking like this today. Peter Burns gets a start. He's catching behind the plate. Nick Bruiser making his 2nd start so far this season at first. Jake McKenzie playing second base, gets the move from left field to the middle infield. And Jimmy Glowacki playing short for only the 2nd time this season. Xavier Warren at 3rd. Brendan Rivoli returns to the lineup playing left. Noah Bridges back in center. And Kyle Hess making his return to the starting 9 as well over in right field.
Yeah, we mentioned that Alika Williams, the normal everyday shortstop for the Braves, going to Team USA tryouts along with Alec Burleson. So some shifting around. Jimmy Glowacki goes over to short. This is only the second game we've seen him in that position. And Jake McKenzie, who, like you said, typically plays left field, was listed as an infielder coming into this season, will now play over at second, where he's used to playing over at Fordham College.
It is a cool 72 degrees here at Bourne tonight. A little bit of a brisk breeze, and we are all set for baseball. The Braves in their white jerseys, white pants with the red piping, and the blue caps, and Chatham in their blue jerseys, gray pants with blue piping, and blue hats as well. Tyler Dones steps in, and we are all set for the first pitch from Harrison Rakowski. He kicks and fires. We're underway. It's a first pitch strike. First pitch at 6:03, and Rakowski quickly leads 0-1.
This is a big day for Harrison Rakowski, facing one of the top averages and top lineups in the league.
0-1, misses in the dirt. Count evens up. Chatham won their last game on Monday against the Cotuit Cavaliers by a score of 4-2. And then, of course, everybody was rained out last night. That sets us up for today. 1-1 is in the zone on the inside part of the plate, and Harrison Rakowski has the 1-2 lead.
That's how Harrison Rakowski was able to get so many Harwich Mariners to strike out, was with that fastball. He's got a lot of movement on it.
Jones batting .286 on the season, and the 1-2 just misses upstairs. And the count now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's 6 for 21 for Jones, and we saw him in the first game of that doubleheader. That was an 8-2 win for Chatham, and the 1-2 is fouled down the right field line. We'll do things again at 2-2.
That first game for Chatham, they completely exploded over the Braves starter J.P. Woodward and Sean Harney, who came on in relief. 2 home runs on their part, including a grand slam for Jamal O'Gwyn, who's in this lineup tonight.
2-2 pitch swung on and missed. The ball is in the ground. Burns is going to have to throw to first base. He does so in plenty of time, and it's the first batter and the first strikeout for Harrison Rakowski.
That's exactly how Rakowski wants to start off against a lineup like the Anglers have, able to get a strikeout on the first batter he sees. Now he's really in the groove, and he can work through it.
And you mentioned it. The USA tryouts hurting the Braves, but at least in this game is helping them. The big absence is Spencer Torkelson, and that's going to be key for this pitching staff. And the first pitch to Caden Polkovich is flown out to left center field. Bridges is under it. He calls off the left fielder Rivoli, and he makes the catch for a quick out number 2.
Great to see Bridges out in center field today. We've had an influx of new players coming in from bigger colleges. Bridges from University of North Carolina, Wilmington has been able to keep that spot in center field, get a few games in, and he's just got a great attitude overall in playing the game. He makes the second out of the inning.
Jamal Gwynn now steps in. He's from USC and fouls his first pitch back into the screen. He's batting .325 on the year, 3 home runs, and that includes that grand slam against Bourne there, Sam.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually tied for the league lead in home runs and RBIs as well. He has 11 of those.
0-1 pitch is a hard hit ball into right field. Back on it goes Hess. He's at the warning track over there in right field, but he makes the catch, and it's a quick and easy 1-2-3 for Harrison Rakowski. No hits, nobody left on, and we're going to head to the bottom of the first. Our score, 0-0 here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. For sales and renters of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit miltoncat.com, your area cat dealer. Welcome back to Doran Park for the bottom of the first inning between the Anglers and the Braves. Let's go over the starting 9 for the Bravos here tonight. Noah Bridges leads things off in center field. Jake McKenzie in the 2 spot playing second. Xavier Warren moves from a leadoff spot to the 3 hole playing third. Jimmy Glowinski cleans up at short. Cade Beloso making his first start tonight, batting at DH in the 5 hole. Kyle Hess out in right in the 6 spot. Nick Bruiser for his second game is in the 7 spot, playing first, I should say. Peter Burns comes back behind the dish, catching, and Brendan Rivoli rounds things out playing left field. And Sam, the Braves have their work cut out for him going up against Zarian Sharp.
Zarian Sharp, actually a teammate of Noah Bridges. He's going to be pitching to him right now. These two are teammates going to the University of North Carolina, Wilmington. Sharp, so far, with already 1 game played on June 12th against Falmouth for Chatham so far. Didn't start, but he got a relief appearance and got the loss. He's 0-1 with a 0.0000 ERA, no runs allowed so far. Pitching 3 innings in that appearance and striking out 4, so he gets his first start today, and we'll see how he does against the Braves lineup that's been struggling.
Yeah, it's brutal, too. He's got a 0.00 ERA. He's only given up 1 run. It was unearned, and that credits him with the loss. And the first pitch to Noah Bridges misses up high. Bridges so far on the season, he's batting .222. That's 4 for 18. He's got a double, an RBI, and a run scored. The strikeout numbers are a little bit high with him, though, at 7. That's second most on the team. And the 1-0 is a broken bat ground ball to short. Ramirez has got it, throws it over to first base in time for out number 1. And we already have another broken bat, Sam.
I was going to say, keep that on the broken bat count tracker. That's number 1. What did we see? We saw 5 on Monday?
Yeah, 5 against YD.
All right. 20% there.
Yeah. And we got a lot of time to get the other 4 as well. Jake McKenzie now steps in for the Braves, hitting .235 on the year. And he gets his first pitch from Sharp. That just misses outside. And the umpires tonight, Chris Kane behind the plate. And it's Joe Lorero over at first base and Jeff Merzel at third. Here's the 1-0 to McKenzie. Misses way up and out. Now has a 2-0 lead.
McKenzie gets the start at second base, which is the position that he's used to playing at Fordham, listed as an infielder, so possibly a little more comfortable today.
Here's the 2-0 to McKenzie. Pitch misses in the same spot, and McKenzie has a quick 3-0 lead. McKenzie coming from Fordham, hitting 4 for 17 on the year, one of the only home runs on this Braves team, him and Xavier Warren. Here's a 3-0 from Sharp. That one right down the middle, and the count now grows to 3 balls and 1 strike.
All the Braves looking for in this first inning, base runners. They've struggled on the hitting side, only getting 2 hits on Monday, both coming from Xavier Warren.
3-1 pitch is going to be fouled out of play. The count will fill up at 3-2, and you mentioned the hitting struggles for this team. As a squad, they're only hitting 198 so far on the season, falling below the Mendoza line and into last place among all Cape League teams. Here's the payoff pitch to Jake McKenzie, and it's fouled back for the 3rd time in a row, and we'll stay here at 3-2.
Really, the only thing that's keeping them afloat is their pitching.
Right.
We've seen some great starts. Rakowski had a good start last week. He's back on the bump today. A great start on Monday as well.
3 balls, 2 strikes, the count to Jake McKenzie. Here's the pitch from Zarian Sharp. It misses inside, and it's going to be a walk for Jake McKenzie after a very nice at-bat, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. He works a walk and gets on base here early with Xavier Warren, who we're typically used to seeing in that first spot. Harvey Shapiro, the Braves manager, moves him down to number 3 today. He got the only 2 hits in the game on Monday, so he's really the only one recently that's been seeing the ball well.
Currently has a 2-game hit streak, which leads the team. There's more hitless streaks than there are hit streaks at this point of the season right now for the Braves. Here's the first pitch to Warren. That misses up and out for ball 1, and it's another ball there from Sharp.
Braves need to work these at-bats pretty long and work into Chatham's bullpen. They have a typical routine. Well, they'll have the first starter go 4 innings, reliever go the next 4, and then a closer go 1. The Braves need to work on disrupting that.
And there's a strike. That count evens up at 1-1 off the off-speed pitch from Sharp. Xavier Warren, like we said, from Central Michigan right now. 226 on the year, 6 for 31. You mentioned he was the only 2 hits in the game against YD back on Monday. 6 RBIs on the season as well. Sharp sets, hands meet at the belt, kicks, and here's the 1-1 that misses upstairs. Count now at 2 balls and 1 strike. Xavier Warren is listed as a temporary player, and we've seen a lot of temporary guys be moved around. AJ Curtis has just been recently released. Paul Gazzo, and the catcher, has also just been released. 2-1 pitch, catches the black on the outside corner. Everything evens up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Braves starting to get their influx of players that were in super regionals or were actually in the College World Series as well. So we'll see a little bit of roster movement up until the end of the week, and then the Braves' permanent lineup should be about set by then.
Yeah, for the most part, the roster by the end of the week should be settled. Here's the 2-2 to Warren. Runner goes. Throw off is offline, and Jake McKenzie has stolen second base.
Well, the Braves came into this game last place in stolen bases, and Harvey Shapiro decides to give the steal sign to McKenzie to already put a runner in scoring position. That's only the Braves' 7th stolen base on this season. Like I said, ranks last in the league, but they're already showing aggressiveness here in the bottom of the first.
And now a base hit likely scores McKenzie over from second. 3-2 count here to Xavier Warren, 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the payoff pitch to Warren. That one's in the dirt, and it's back-to-back walks, puts runners at first and second for Jimmy Glewenke.
The Braves are capable of getting on base. In the game against Brewster last Tuesday at Brewster, were able to work 9 walks throughout the lineup against their pitching staff. So the Braves are certainly good at drawing walks and getting on base. It just comes down to how they get those runners home, and what's been the one real big thing they've struggled with.
And Sharp has almost matched his season total for walks here in this top of the first inning. He threw 3 walks coming into tonight's game and has already thrown 2 here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the first pitch to Glewenke, and that misses outside for ball 1. Glewenke on the season batting .208, which is about the team average, 5 for 24, 1 double, 3 RBIs, and this is going to be his 9th game. He went 0 for 1 against YD. He had a pinch hit ground ball that actually ended the game, and the 1-0 pitch finds the zone. The count now at a ball and a strike.
And Glewenke, like we said, shifted over to shortstop. We've really only seen him play second base this season so far. We saw him at short one game where Harvey Shapiro put Alika at second and Glewenke at short. This is only his second game in that position.
Here's the 1-1 to Jimmy Glowacki. Line drive right back up the middle. Takes a bounce. It's going to be a double play. The flip on the second is in time, and they throw Glowacki out at first. Everybody freezes on the ground ball, and Chatham takes advantage. It's a 6-4-3 to end the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 left on for the Braves. Our score heading into the top of the second inning, 0-0 here on the Bourne Braves YouTube network. Four, five, six spots kick us off here on the top of the second inning. 0-0 game here between the Braves and the A's. It's going to be Charlie Welch, Alex Terrell, and Paxton Wallace to get us going. And Sam, we saw it again yesterday. The weather has gone back to the Cape Cod Lake. It just won't leave us alone.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean,
Yeah.
Another rain out yesterday. It just kind of seems like clockwork at this point. There's going to be at least one every week. But we have a great day here today.
Beautiful.
Not really sure how the scheduling is going to work out to try and get all those games
Yeah.
made up. But, we have not had the best luck with the weather so far.
No, not at all. There is talk of a doubleheader Sunday as the first pitch to Welch is in the zone for strike one to make up the game from Tuesday against Hyannis. It might be playing 2 9-inning games instead of the usual 7-inning format. Here's the 0-1 to Welch. Breaking ball just misses the zone low, and the count even so ball and a strike. The numbers on Welch aren't great. Batting 1 for 19 this season for the Anglers. That's a .053 average. Here's the 1-1. That one just misses low. The count now at 2 balls and a strike.
Well, the Braves play Hyannis that Sunday, and I don't think they'd mind playing a doubleheader. I think Hyannis, their struggles is really the only thing that's keeping the Braves afloat in this early season.
2-1 is Chuck's swing, but it goes around the plate, and that's going to go as a swinging strike to even things up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, you mentioned right now the West Division is pretty solid in terms of where people are right now. Wareham and Katuitt are tied for the lead, and the 2-2 is fouled off. Those 2 teams tied at the top of the division at 13 points. Falmouth sitting at 9 points, just 1 point above the Braves. And there's Bourne at 4-6 and 4th, and Hyannis at 1-9-1, only 3 points on the year. And of course, the Cape League running off the point system, 2 points for a win, 1 for a tie. Here's the 2-2. That misses up high, and the count now fills up to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, it's an unbelievable stat, Jordan, but the Braves have only played 1 division opponent so far this year, and that was Falmouth. They haven't played Katuitt, haven't played Wareham, haven't played Hyannis yet.
3-2 pitch is hit hard into center field. Bridges going back on it. Looks like he's under it. He's got it with one hand, and he makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, the Braves certainly know the East Division so well, and that could be because their struggles because the East Division is so tight right now.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot of difference between Chatham and the very bottom. Chatham's leading the division right now, and the East certainly seems like a very competitive division. I think when Bourne gets back in the West Division, they could actually make some noise.
Here's the first pitch to Alex Terrell. It's in the zone for strike 1. You mentioned there not being a lot of separation between the team. Check this out. Chatham's at first place at 15 points. There's a 3-way tie for second at 13 as the breaking ball just misses the zone. The count evens at a ball and a strike. 3-way tie for second, all at 13 points between Orleans, Brewster, and YD. And Harwich is at the bottom at 12 points. And the 1-1 is a broken bat floater into shallow right field. Bruiser makes the catch for out number 2 and make that 2 broken bats.
Can't believe it. We didn't see any last week. Granted, there weren't a ton of games played last week, but at the away parks that the Braves went to, no broken bats. And we've already seen now 7 in 2 home games so far, and we're still in the second inning of this one. But a nice play by Nick Bruiser to track that ball all the way into the glove on the flyout.
First pitch into Paxton Wallace, misses up and in for ball 1. Wallace on the year batting 118 or 3 for 17. He's got 1 home run as one of his only hits, 3 RBIs and 3 runs scored. As the 1-0 misses up and in, 2-0 now the count.
Wallace, the rising junior, was actually the number 2 overall prospect coming out of high school in Arkansas. Now goes to Wichita State.
All 3 pitches have missed high this at bat to Wallace as the count now grows to 3-0. And we know Harrison Rakowski, very, very dominant pitcher, not known for letting people on base without a fight. Has only walked 2 people all season long. Here's a 3-0, and that stat will stay intact for at least for now. The count now at 3 balls and a strike. Rakowski, one of the few returners onto this team last season with the Braves. He was 0-2 with a 6.64 ERA as the 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. He had 4 games started and 6 appearances, only threw 21 2/3 innings, had 10 walks and 16 strikeouts. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Paxton Wallace. Just misses the zone high, and it's a 2-out walk for the Anglers.
That's a rare walk, as you said, Joran, suffered by Harrison Rakowski on the mound. You usually see him battle like he did in that at-bat against Wallace, work that to a 3-2 count, just missed on the next pitch. But it says a lot that Rakowski didn't really pitch a lot last season. Now is trusted as the ace, the opening day starter, the best starter in this rotation that we've seen so far. It says a lot of trust that Harvey Shapiro has with Rakowski in year 2.
First pitch to Ben Ramirez is grounded to third. As Warren's got it. He throws on to second for the force out to McKenzie, and he's got it with the stretch for out number 3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. Our score heading in the bottom of the second still remains 0-0 here on the Braves Baseball Network. Zero score here at Dorn Park between the Braves and the A's. Look at things defensively here for Chatham. It's Welch behind the plate catching, Alex Terral over at first base, Tyler Jones at second, Ben Ramirez at short, Jorge Arenas at third, Jamal O'Gwyn in left, Caden Polkovich in center, and Drenis Ozuna over in right. And, of course, on the mound is Zarian Sharp.
Cade Beloso batting for the first time this season, making his Braves debut, the rising sophomore out of LSU. 6'0", 220. He's a big refrigerator out there.
Yeah, he is. And he takes the first pitch strike from Sharp. He's built like a linebacker. You know, you not want that coming after you 3 yards deep behind the line of scrimmage. Here's the 0-1 to Beloso. Breaking ball finds the zone. A good pitch there from Sharp. And the count quickly grows to 0-2.
And Beloso was known at LSU for being extremely disciplined. Only struck out 41 times throughout the season, but now finds himself down 0-2.
0-2 pitch is fouled off as the crowd still trickling in here to Dorn Park. We wish you were here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening. Braves off tomorrow for their yearly workouts over at Fenway Park. Then they return to action on Friday. 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball, and it gets Beloso looking.
Oh, Beloso not starting out this summer the way he wanted to, going down looking. We mentioned an extremely disciplined batter coming out of LSU, but just too good of a pitch there from Zarian Sharp right down the middle, gets Beloso looking for the first out.
Now it's Kyle Hess from Pittsburgh stepping in, batting 188 on the year, 3 for 16. First pitch from Sharp finds his own, and he quickly falls behind 0-1. And it looks like Sharp has fine-tuned his command out there, really throwing a lot of strikes real fast. Here's the 0-1 to Kyle Hess. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and he quickly falls behind 0-2 as well.
We haven't seen Kyle Hess play in a few games. Didn't play in Chatham game number 2 and didn't play on Monday against YD. He went over 2 with 2 strikeouts in the first game of the doubleheader against the Anglers.
0-2 is a waste pitch. That missed his way outside. Count now at a ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Hess only has 1 run scored on the year, and that was the walk-off single of Alec Burleson in the second game of the Orleans doubleheader last Sunday. Here's the 1-2. This one fouled back into the screen, and we'll stay here at a ball and 2 strikes. Kyle Hess, and you'd imagine Noah Bridges, Brendan Rivoli, all battling for outfield spots thanks to the new players just signed and activated. 1-2 is in the zone, and it's back-to-back backwards Ks for Zarian Sharp here on the bottom of the second.
2 strikeouts looking on this Braves lineup from Sharp. Just completely fooled him. Hess didn't have anything to give, and Sharp through this back part of the lineup now is doing extremely well, and now we see Bruiser here playing in his second game for the Braves.
And Nick Bruiser out of Stanford, batting 0-0-0 so far for the Braves. Went over 3 against YD on Monday in his first game, and he takes a first pitch ball. Bruiser out of Stanford, like I said, went to high school in Arizona at Hamilton. 3-time state champion. He's 2016 Gatorade Player of the Year and the 2016 Max Preps National Player of the Year as he swings and misses at the 1-0 to even things up at a ball and a strike.
Well, we know for these new players, it's going to take some time to get used to this incredible pitching that the Cape League is known for. We saw that in the first couple games for the Braves, and now with totally new players, we could just see some more struggles.
And the 1-1 is looks like a changeup there, a little off speed. Swung and missed by Bruiser, and he falls behind 1-2. And we've heard a lot of people say, Sam, that the pitching here at the Cape Cod Baseball League is very similar to that of a rookie ball or single A ball. And the 1-2 is fastball and just misses inside. And the count now evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, you're exactly right. A lot of these players will get drafted and eventually play in the minor leagues before they work themselves up. And that's exactly what we're seeing. I mean, we're seeing incredible pitching, and not all these players are used to stuff like that.
2-2 pitch, just missed the zone outside, and Bruiser's worked himself into a full count.
Actually, talking with Braves trainer Megan Wan, she said a lot of the players are used to being the best players on their teams, and then they come to the Cape League, and the competition is just so high.
3-2 pitch to Bruiser is swung on and missed. Zarian Sharp strikes out the side in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, and our score still 0-0 as we head to the top of the third here on the Braves YouTube network. Welcome back to Doran Park, and We're here to tell you about Curry College. They offer 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels, and their championship teams. It's all online at www.edu. Top of the third here at Bourne Park. Jorge Arenas leads things off for the A's, batting .333 so far this season. 1 RBI, 4 runs scored as he takes the first pitch ball from Harrison Rakowski.
Had 0-for-2 game in the last game for the Anglers, a 4-2 victory against Katua with a walk as well.
1-0 is sliced into right field. Back on it goes Hess toward the warning track, and he's got it battling the sun with one hand for out number 1.
Not only battling the sun, but Hess covered a wide range in right field to be able to move from his normal spot over back by that warning track area. We saw the hustle on that play, and Hess puts it away for a long out number 1.
Drenis Ozuna now for the Anglers, coming out of small college in Oklahoma Wesleyan. As his first pitch is grounded at short, that's Jimmy Glowacki. He's got it on a shuffle. Sidearm throw is in plenty of time for a quick out number 2.
And if this game is anything like Monday's game was, Glowacki better be prepared for a ton of ground outs over in that shortstop area. We saw Alika Williams get a ton. I believe 6 of the first 7 batters grounded out, and a lot were over in his area. So Glowacki has to keep his head on a swivel over at shortstop.
Tyler Jones now steps in for the Anglers, right back to the top of the order for the A's, and he grounds his first pitch foul down the third baseline. Struck out swinging his first time. And he's going to talk to his third base coach here down the third baseline. Perhaps maybe a little strategy talk here.
Well, that was only the 4th pitch thrown in this inning. There's already 2 outs, and if that would have been a grounder out to third, that would have been the final pitch, only 4 pitches. So Chatham being really aggressive here early and swinging at some of the first pitches that Harrison Rakowski throws.
And we are zooming through this game as well. We thought we were going through the YD game quickly. That game was just played in an hour and 59 minutes. And here's the 0-1 to Ozuna. Swung on and missed, and he falls behind 0-2. We're here in the top of the third, and we're about to hit the 30-minute mark just now. Harrison Rakowski looking for his second strikeout of the game here tonight. The 0-2 bounces about a couple feet before the plate. A waste pitch there, and the count now at 1-2.
That's what happens in these pitcher-dominated games that so far we're seeing, still early, but he just rolls. These games just roll right through. I mean, we saw it on Monday where there were only 7 combined hits for either team, and that game was, I don't even know if it was 2 hours.
1-2 pitch is lined up the middle. Glowacki's got it on a hop. Sidearm throw to first base is in time for outs number 3. It's another 1-2-3 inning for Harrison Rakowski. We head into the bottom of the third. Our score still Chatham 0, Bourne 0 here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the third inning, and it's 8-9-1 due up for the Braves. And as we hit the bottom of the third, Sam, we know Tom Holliday for Chatham, very routine, 3-3-3 setup. This is likely going to be Zarian Sharp's last inning.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll pitch his third inning of work. He'll do this, and then they'll bring in Dane Acker most likely in the next inning. He's a rising junior from Oklahoma, a player that had to sit out the 2019 season due to the transfer rules, wasn't available during that season, but we'll most likely see the right-handed pitcher who's 6'3", 205 coming up to pitch against the Braves in the bottom of the fourth. So this is likely to be Zarian Sharp's last inning.
Yeah, Holiday really working with the 3-3-3 formation as Peter Bourne steps in for his first hacks at the plate tonight, and he takes the first pitch ball outside. Jeremy Wu Yelland is scheduled to work the final 3 innings for the A's here tonight at Doran. And I know we talked about it a little bit at Chatham, but as Burns pops up his 1-0 pitch foul over toward the hill here at Doran Park, over toward the Upper Cape Technical High School. What do you think about the 3-3-3 setup?
Yeah, it's interesting to kind of already know who's going to be pitching in each game.
Yeah.
It certainly worked for the Anglers so far. They have the best record in the league, but the Braves certainly do not have the same system.
1-1 pitch, almost rolled back. Fair is nubbed off the end of the bat, and it was tailing toward the third base line, but it was touched foul. The count now to Peter Burns is 1-2.
Talking to A.J. Curtis, who was recently released pregame, he said he was talking to Josh Culliver actually on Monday and asked Culliver if he was going to pitch, and Culliver said, "Oh, I'm not pitching today," and then 2 innings later, he's in the game. So Braves do it a little bit differently, but for Chatham, it's working.
Yeah, every team has their own system. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Burns. That misses up high, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And for Peter Burns, he has been... Well, he's been consistent, hasn't he, Sam?
Yeah, certainly. A 3.33 average in the Cape so far, 2 for 6, and many sacrifice hits in there as well.
2-2 misses up and in, and the count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And for Burns, like you said, he's only got 6 registered at bats. He's obviously been to the plate more times than that. Very good at sacrifice bunting, getting on base via the walk. Even got hit once as well. As he calls time, everyone resets. And here we go. Sharp shakes off a sign. Kicks the leg, and here's the payoff pitch to Peter Burns. It's popped up foul. This one's going to be a souvenir. Let's see if anyone makes the play on the fly. Now it falls harmlessly to the ground, and we'll stay here at 3-2.
Oh, this was the game to bring the glove. I mean, I brought my glove on Monday, and nothing came over here, and now we have 2 straight fly balls. Hey, you told me not to bring the glove, Jordan.
You're right. I did.
Come on.
I don't think you wore it once in the entirety of the game. Here's the 3-2 to Burns, and it's fouled straight back on the screen, and we'll do it once again at full count.
Burns now just one of 2 catchers on the team. Jacob Campbell, the other one from Illinois, as Paul Gazzo was released earlier today. So should be expecting a few more catchers coming in, but right now it's a 2-catcher team right now in Burns and Campbell.
3 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Peter Burns. Here's the delivery from Sharp, and it's another foul ball, and Peter Burns is really working that bat here, Sam.
Yeah, he is, and this is exactly what you like to see from him. This is likely, as we talked about, going to be Sharp's last inning, but he's putting together a battle here, and this is a great at-bat.
Burns went 2 for 3 with 2 singles in the second game of that Chatham doubleheader on Sunday. Here's the 3-2, and it's fouled straight back over to us. Heads up, right back on the screen. And this at-bat coming up to the double-digit mark on pitches.
Yeah, he's certainly seen everything that Sharp has to offer, and he's working him right now. Burns going deep into this at-bat, and what an at-bat for the catcher.
Sharp kicks. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Sharp wins the battle. Make that 4 straight strikeouts for Zarian Sharp.
Well, Burns battled, fouled off pitches, and Sharp just goes with a high fastball, and that's what gets Burns on the strikeout. That's already the 4th strikeout for Sharp. Solid outing from him so far.
Brendan Rivoli now out of UVA, the University of Virginia, steps in, batting 2 for 19 so far this season. And he swings at this first pitch, and he fouls it off, almost hits the lights, and he falls behind 0-1.
Rivoli, another player that's been struggling in this Braves lineup. 6 strikeouts in those 19 at-bats. Last saw him against Brewster.
And a pitch hit at-bat there as the 0-1 is off speed, and Rivoli is way out in front, and he falls behind. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, for Rivoli, this is the first time he's started since, I believe, Harwich.
That is correct. Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago, if my memory serves. Yeah, here's the 0-2. That one is in the zone for strike 3. Another strikeout for Sharp. Make that 5 in a row as we head to the top of the order.
And these Braves batters are just completely fooled. Rivoli didn't really even put up a fight and just watch that pitch go right in. And he is retired on the strikeout for the 7th time this season in 20 at-bats.
Noah Bridges now, he's 0 for 1 with the ground out, and the smart money is that he's probably going to swing at this first pitch if it's anywhere near the zone. Bridges likes to play very aggressively. Here's the pitch. A little check swing, and it's called a strike anyway, and he falls behind 0-1.
Yeah, Bridges with just a great attitude for the game. We were at YD for the Bourne and Red Sox game last week, and one that got rained out.
And the 0-1 almost hits him, and it does hit him. It nicks him on the arm, and it's going to be another base runner here for the Braves.
And that YD game didn't get rained out until just a few minutes before the scheduled first pitch, and Bridges came by us and actually said, well, the lines are down. I'm playing today.
Yeah.
I am playing today. I don't care. They ended up not playing that game, but Bridges, a very upbeat player, very positive, and now he's over on first with a hit by pitch.
Jake McKenzie now steps in. He walked his last time. Later stole second as Sharp reminds Bridges that he's over there with a pickoff move over to first base. It's always funny to see that divide in the players, which players are and it kind of has to do with where they go to college, are kind of almost game for anything, and maybe we'll just call this one off, try again tomorrow. Sharp looks over at first base, kicks and fires first pitch to McKenzie. That misses, maybe up, maybe outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Sharp staring down his teammate. Noah Bridges over at first. He probably knows a thing or two about what Bridges is most likely to do over on the base paths, so he's keeping an eye on over.
Yeah, he took the words out of my mouth. These two know all about each other. Here's the 1-0. That one is in the zone. It caught the black on the outside part of the plate. So says Chris Kane, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. 0-0 our score here on this Wednesday afternoon from Doran Park here in the bottom of the third between the Anglers and the Bravos. Sharp looks over. There goes Bridges, the runner. The throw is going to be in time. They got him going at second base. What a throw from Welsh on the off-speed pitch to get it in time to get Noah Bridges. So in the bottom of the third, it's no runs, no hits, nobody left on for the Bravos. We're heading into the top of the fourth, the second third of the game here, still scoreless from Doran on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Top of the fourth inning here at Doran Park, and we're still scoreless between the Chatham Anglers and the Bourne Braves. Caden Polkovich steps in for his second at-bat tonight. 0 for 1. He flew out to center his first time back in the top of the first inning. And he grounds his first pitch to Bruiser at first base. Flips to Rakowski. A little PFP action in time for out number 1.
Great play by both players over at first for the Braves, Bruiser and Rakowski, to have the communication on that ground out, and a nice flip over to Rakowski covering first is able to get the first out of the inning, and Rakowski, not too many pitches thrown. We saw the the third inning for him didn't really have too many pitches thrown, and now it's a one pitch, one out in the first batter he sees.
And Jamal O'Gwyn steps in for his second at bat, and he looks at a first pitch strike right at the knees for strike one. He flew out to left, or excuse me, to right his first time, and we know this kid right here, Sam, has got a lot of power.
And O'Gwyn actually homered last night for his third home run of the season.
0-1 is fouled into the screen. Count now grows to no balls and 2 strikes. Of course, he hit the grand slam against the Bravos back on Sunday in game number 1 of that doubleheader.
And Sean Harney, who came out of the pen, actually intentionally walked Spencer Torkelson to get to O'Gwyn.
0-2 misses inside. Count now at a ball and 2 strikes.
Now, Gwynn basically said, well, you want to walk to get to me? I'm going to show you and make you pay for it. And he did with a grand slam to right center field. Just the second batter for Sean Harney.
1-2 just misses high. It was over the plate, but just upstairs. Count evens up at 2-2, and it's always a big, you kind of get a chip on your shoulder as a batter when you're walking somebody else to rather face you, and O'Gwyn capitalized with the grand slam. Here's the 2-2. Breaking balls in the dirt. O'Gwyn thought about it, but held off, and the first base umpire agrees. Count fills up at 3-2. Zero-zero score here at Doran tonight. Here's the payoff pitch to Jamal O'Gwyn. It misses inside, and it's the second walk of the night from Harrison Rakowski.
Rakowski's close with those pitches, just a little bit inside on the 3-ball, 2-strike count. You want to be careful with a batter like O'Gwyn. Like we mentioned, leading the league is actually in a tie for home runs with 3. So Rakowski played it safe and just missed a little high and inside.
Charlie Welch now for the Anglers. He's 0 for 1, flew out to center his first time. The A's have a 1-out base runner here in the top of the 4th. Rakowski delivers his first pitch. It's in the dirt. Burns keeps it in front nicely. Count out a ball and no strikes.
And we'll see how this combination of Jake McKenzie and Jimmy Glowacki how they can perform in a double play opportunity. Haven't seen these two in the middle infield yet.
You're right. It's a new combination as the 1-0 pitch finds the zone. Count evens up at a ball and a strike, and it doesn't look like Welch necessarily agreed with that call. It's almost a brand new infield with the exception of Xavier Warren at third base. All new faces in there. Here's the 1-1. That one misses upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Charlie Welch, the catcher. Rakowski in the stretch, shakes off a sign. Now comes set, hands meet at the waist. Here's the 2-1. This one popped up over the netting, and we'll even things up here at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, this is a great count for Rakowski to test his off speed against Charlie Welch and try and get him swinging for a big strikeout with 1 out and a runner on.
The runner on at first is O'Gwyn. Rakowski delivers the 2-2, breaks right into the zone, strike 3, and Charlie Welch knew it the minute he saw it.
That's what we like to see from Harrison Rakowski, an off-speed pitch right in the middle of the zone on a 2-2 count, and got Welch looking for the second out of this inning. A great pitch from Rakowski.
Knee buckler right there from Harrison Rakowski. Totally froze Charlie Welch. Now it falls on Alex Terrell, who looks at the same breaking ball that slides into the zone for strike 1. Terrell popped up to Nick Bruiser his first time back in the second inning. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 0-1. This one fouled up over our heads, and the count now at 0-2.
Rakowski in that last start he had against Harwich didn't really have too many runners on base. He was taken out after 6 innings and allowing a few base runners, but was able to get out of it.
0-2, the runner moves. Burns the throw into second to Glowacki. It's in plenty of time, no doubt about it. And Peter Burns throws out O'Gwyn, who ran on the pitch. Scoreless here at Doran Park. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, 0-0, and you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the fourth inning, 0-0 score between the Braves and the A's, and very much to schedule here, Sam. Chatham made a pitch and change.
Dane Acker now comes in, the right-handed pitcher from Oklahoma, playing 2 years at San Jacinto Junior College, and now faces Jake McKenzie.
And McKenzie takes a first pitch strike. Acker so far on the season, no win-loss tallies yet. 0-0 ERA in 5 innings pitched, and this being his third appearance. McKenzie pops this one up into shallow right field, almost no man's land between Ozuna and Dones. Ozuna calls off the second baseman and makes the catch for out number 1.
Acker was actually drafted by the Diamondbacks just a few weeks ago in the draft and has yet to go to Oklahoma, but played 2 years at junior college at San Jacinto and is now here to improve his game before he heads out to Oklahoma.
Yeah, declined the opportunity to go into the Diamondbacks organization, decided to stick with his commitment to the Sooners, and that's where he'll be attending this fall. Xavier Warren now for the Braves, looks at a first pitch that's up and out for ball 1. He walked his first time. And Xavier Warren, very quietly, Sam, has kind of got the offense going back together here for him.
Yeah, certainly. He had a few games where he couldn't get a hit, and now has kind of collected himself.
And the 1-0 misses outside. Count at 2-0. Got the only 2 hits in the game against YD on Monday. And now has the opportunity once again to be the only hit in the game against Chatham so far tonight. Big hitters count here for Xavier Warren. Here's the pitch from the right-handed Acker. Misses outside. The count now at 3 balls and no strikes.
And Warren saw that average dip underneath 200, has now raised it to 226 in the most recent games. But when he's having a good game, it seems like the rest of the team is having a good game as well.
Hitting is contagious, Sam. Here's the 3-0. That one right down the middle. Count out at 3 balls and 1 strike. You know, and with Xavier Warren, a temporary player, it feels like he's probably done more than enough to secure a permanent spot as the 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed from Warren. Count now fills up at 3-2, but in that situation, Sam, you really never know, and we saw that with A.J. Curtis.
Yeah, we thought he was probably the most consistent player, was batting around the 250 line, had played in every game, and then all of a sudden just gets released with the new players coming in.
Here's the payoff pitch to Xavier Warren. It's swung on and missed, and mark that down. It's another strikeout for the A's, and there's 2 outs here in the 4th.
What the Braves really need is that one player who's going to step up and be the main power guy, and I think Harvey Shapiro was looking towards Xavier Warren to do that. He has one of only 2 home runs on the team so far by putting him in the 3 spot, but so far a walk in the first inning and a tough strikeout on a 3-2 pitch. But this lineup really lacking a lot of firepower right now.
Jimmy Glowacki looks at a breaking ball that curves into the zone for strike 1. He grounded into an inning-ending double play back in the first inning. He's got the start at shortstop tonight. 0-1 pitch, grounded right back up the middle. And there's the first hit of the ball game. Takes a bounce just by second base. The center fielder Polkovich has got it in back into the infield, and it's a 2-out single for Glowacki and the Bravos.
Glowacki saw an off-speed pitch from Acker that he liked and hit it right up the middle. That's only in 5 innings the 3rd hit allowed by Acker all season. And the Braves have a base runner with 2 outs in Jimmy Glowacki. A really nice, solid contact hit right up the middle.
And that brings up the power man, Cade Beloso. Hit 10 home runs for LSU this past season, 52 RBIs. And he grounds this one up the middle. It's going to be a tough play for Dones. He's got it on a slide, flips it over to second base in time for out number 3. So the score remains at 0s for both teams, but the Braves finally break through with a hit in this one. We're going to head to the top of the 5th, still tied up at 0 here on the Bourne Braves YouTube network. Welcome back to Dorn Park, and we're going to pause real quick to say Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more info, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, and superior care. Both teams looking to start offensively. The Braves finally struck through with a hit. Now it falls on Alex Terrell to try and get the Anglers going here in the top of the fifth, 0-0 score. And Harrison Rakowski still working on the bump, fires the first pitch strike.
Terrell was actually up in the last inning when Jamal O'Gwin attempted to steal second and was thrown out by Pete Burns.
Curveball did not curve from Rakowski there. Stayed up and in, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike. And Sam, this feels like one of those games that 1-0, 2-0, probably going to win it. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside. Burns did a nice job of trying to frame it up, but did not get the call.
That's been the story for a lot of the games that the Braves have played, is that they've just allowed a 2-run inning or a 1-run inning, and that's been really the main difference.
2-1 pitch, touches the dirt, and Rakowski falls behind here, 3-1 to Alex Terrell, who 0 for 1, popped up to Nick Bruiser back in the second inning. Here's a 3-1. Foul tipped into the mitts of Peter Burns. Count now at 3-2.
And this has been a different start for Harrison Rakowski against Harwich. His last time struck out 6. Now he's only struck out 2. The Anglers have been getting a lot better contact on him. There's just been some great plays by the field for the Braves, and they haven't really been able to get it out of the infield.
Here's a 3-2 to Terrell. This one driven into right center field. Back on it is Bridges. He's under it at the warning track, and he's got the catch for out number 1. It's a loud out, but an out nonetheless.
Yeah, Toro right off the bat, people knew that was going far, and Bridges did as well. Read that beautifully and caught it right before the warning track. But you have to think it's only a matter of time before this Angler lineup figures out what Rakowski is throwing and finally gets to him. That seems to be what's been happening for Bourne. It'll usually be the second or third time around the lineup where the starter will get a little rattled out there.
First pitch to Paxton Wallace. He slices it toward the right field line. Kyle Hess on the move. Tried to make a sliding catch. Did not come up with it. Wallace is going to advance to second base on the double, and it's a 1-out double for the Anglers.
Hess trying to make the sliding play in that shallow warning track right by the line in right field, and it looked like it just bounced right before him as he was sliding. And then, just like I said, they've been getting contact, and Wallace now gets over to second for a great opportunity for the Anglers with just 1 out, and Ben Ramirez coming up now.
Yeah, I believe Hess mid-slide, I believe the ball hit off his glove. He just couldn't actually corral it. He had the opportunity to catch it, just could not bring it in. And it's always difficult to make a play like that. And it's actually, I can't believe this. Yeah, it's been scored as an error. Wow. I'm not sure how you can score that an error, but that's not our decision to make, as Ben Ramirez looks at a first pitch strike from Rakowski. So take that double away and mark that, I guess, as an E9, and I guess the no-hitter is still intact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that was really a routine play over in right. Hess had to slide for it. And either way, it's called an error.
Yeah, it's cruel and unusual punishment right there. The 0-1 is in the dirt. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. And Sam, we've seen some of those types of decisions, and it's a little bit difficult because a lot of the interns here are all like you and I, coming from all different parts of the country, just wanted to work with the baseball team, not necessarily knowing the ins and outs. The 1-1 is grounded to the first base side. Nick Bruiser's got it, and he steps on first himself for out number 2.
Well, what's good for the Braves is that they are actually first place in the league in the lowest amount of errors. So we've seen the field have a ton of great plays like that and really haven't been cursed with some plays being ruled an error and some plays being ruled a hit. So that was one of the few errors we see, I guess, from the Braves defense there from Hess.
Yeah, statistically speaking, the Braves have the best defense in the Cape League. And now it's Jorge Arenas to try and score the runner from third base. That is Paxton Wallace. Here's the first pitch to Arenas, and that misses up and out for ball 1. Arenas flew out to right his first time. Over to Kyle Hess in the second inning. Rakowski sets. Here's the 1-0. Short ground ball here to third base. Warren has to make a nice play, and he can't do it. He went up to make the throw, and it slipped right out of his hand. He lost it on the transfer, and the A's are on the board here in the top of the fifth.
For Xavier Warren, he was charging at that ball, and the ball was coming down as he was picking it up on a bounce. And on the transfer, just bobbled it, couldn't get it out over to first, and there's that one run that could be the difference for Chatham here in the fifth inning.
And we're still waiting on a decision. I would imagine if Hess's was an error, I'd imagine Warren's is an error as well. And Drenis Ozuna steps in, and he looks at strike one, and it's marked as a hit. So give that an RBI single to Jorge Arenas as Rakowski throws over to first base, and nothing doing over there.
It's just tough for the Braves defense and Xavier Warren. Wasn't a very hard hit ball, but Arenas getting lucky on the bounce as Warren couldn't get it out on the transfer.
First pitch to Ozuna misses downstairs for ball one. And the count now at a ball and a strike here. So Arenas gets credited for the single and the RBI. The 1-1 is a big swing and a miss there from Ozuna, and he falls behind 1-2.
We've only seen the Braves come back from a deficit just one time against Brewster last Tuesday, where they were down 3-0 and came back to tie it 3-3, now down 1-0, and a struggling Braves lineup. They have to find some sort of power in the bottom half of the inning.
Yeah, I have to get out of this inning here first. The 1-2 is a rocket towards short. Glowinski's got it on a hop, flips it over to McKenzie covering second base, and it's a 6-4 putout to end the top of the fifth inning. So it's one run, one hit, one error, nobody left on, and the Anglers take a 1-0 lead here over the Braves as we head to the bottom half of the fifth inning here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Kyle Hess leads things off at the bottom of the fifth inning for the Bravos. They trail this 1-0, and that error on Kyle Hess that was originally charged to Kyle Hess has now been changed to a double. So make that 2 hits for Chatham in that fifth inning and 1 run across the board. Hess struck out looking back in the second inning. And he gets his first pitch from Acker, misses outside for ball one.
And Hess was actually the fielder in right field for that call that's now been changed to a double. Tried to slide for that catch, hit him right in the glove and couldn't secure it. That ended up being the only run for the Anglers so far and the only run in this ballgame.
Here's the 1-0. This one popped into left field. O'Gwynn back on the run. He can't get there with the dive. Hess is going to round first, and I don't think he knows where the ball is. He's jogging into second base, and he's going to have to be held there. I think he might have thought it went over the fence. But nonetheless, it's a leadoff double, and it's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Braves.
That's the spark that this lineup has needed really all game, and Hess takes it opposite field over the head of Jamal O'Gwynn, who tried to put his glove outstretched that just went over it. And like you said, Hess, I think, slowed up a little bit, but ends up getting into second for a leadoff double with Nick Bruiser now coming up, who's trying to change things around.
A double is a double nonetheless, and you mentioned it falls now to Nick Bruiser here with nobody out. He looks at a first pitch ball in the dirt, and he leads now 1-0.
This is a big opportunity for Bruiser, who, like we mentioned, joined this team on Monday, hasn't gotten a hit yet. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in his first 4 at-bats.
Yeah, it'd be a perfect time to get his first hit in his Cape Cod career. Acker takes a look at second base. Nobody home. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed. High fastball there that Bruiser went after. Count now evens at a ball and a strike. You mentioned Bruiser 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Struck out his first time in 3 pitches. His first time back in the 3rd inning. Acker working from the stretch. Sets. Hands just meet in front of the letters. Here's the 1-1. Misses way inside. Bruiser had to back out of the zone for that one. Count now at 2 balls and 1 strike.
Bruiser, such a highly touted player coming out of high school. We mentioned his accolades, was actually the National High School Home Run Derby champion, Gatorade Player of the Year, and just hasn't really adjusted to the college pitching yet. He hasn't batted over .225 in his 2 years yet in college.
Here's the 2-1 to Nick Bruiser as Acker takes a look at second base. Kicks and fires, and this is inside, and he's got a big lead here in this at-bat, 3-1 with Peter Burns on deck.
Great count for Bruiser. He has power. Haven't seen it yet in the Cape League so far, but a great count for him to swing away with a runner at second. All he needs is a single here.
Hess at second base. After his leadoff double, here's the 3-1 to Bruiser, and it's in the dirt for ball 4. Runner is at first and second for the Bravos, and it's on Peter Burns to get things in business here for the Braves.
And for Peter Burns, I actually wouldn't be surprised if he lays down a bunt here and gets the runners over at second and third. We've seen him do that twice before for the Braves. He seems to be their main sacrifice bunt guy, and now he comes up with runners on first and second. I'm expecting a bunt right here, a call from Harvey Shapiro.
Yeah, so am I. I would not be surprised at all. Burns in the second game of the Chatham doubleheader went 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Has the opportunity here to drop down a bunt, play some small ball, take away the double play chance, and move the runners to second and third. Let's see what happens. Acker comes set. The third baseman, Arenas, playing at the line. He squares to bunt. He pops it up down the line. It's a perfect bunt from Peter Burns. He might beat it out, and he does! A sacrifice bunt turns into an infield single for Peter Burns, and they're juiced here in the bottom of the 5th.
That's what you love to see from Peter Burns. That ball actually getting in the air benefited him. Stayed in the air just long enough and bounced right before Jorge Arenas could get it. Allows Burns enough time to get over to first, and the bases are loaded with a struggling Brendan Rivoli up.
Brendan Rivoli here with the bases loaded has the opportunity to give the Braves not only their first run, but possibly the lead as well. A perfectly placed bunt from Peter Burns loads them up here in the bottom of the 5th. First pitch to Rivoli, misses downstairs for ball 1. Rivoli struck out looking his first time on 3 pitches. Acker sets here. The Braves trailing 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Line drive, heads up, right over the Braves, duck out into the netting, and the count evens up at a ball and a strike.
This is a great time for Rivoli to really switch things around. Doesn't have any RBIs in the Cape League so far. Had 42 at Virginia in a tough ACC conference with a nice batting average as well there too.
Just needed a little bit of confidence, and this would be the time to get it. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball up the middle. This might be 2. Ramirez flips a second. Throw onto first is in time. So it's a double play, but the Braves do tie the game off the bat of Brendan Rivoli.
Well, it's not what he wanted, but they end up getting a run home and tying this ball game up 1-1 on the double play. And that's really all the Braves needed to tie this ball game up.
So Noah Bridges steps up. We're back at the top of the order. Tie game here at Doran Park. And Bruiser, who was originally on second, moves up to third. Here's the first pitch to Bridges. That one just misses. He takes the lead here. 1 ball, no strikes. Bridges is 0 for 1. He was hit by pitch his last time in the 3rd inning and then grounded out to short in his first time in the bottom of the 1st. Here's the 1-0. It's popped up foul. It's going to head towards the high school here at Upper Cape Regional Tech. And now count moves to 1-2.
Bridges is due for a big hit here with a runner on third. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the sacrifice fly opportunity, but still 2 outs, runner on third. He's got plenty of time to make something happen.
Definitely does. Base hit here would be very nice. Here's the 1-1, and that one's in the zone. Now the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. And Bridges, we know, is very aggressive in the plate. Would not have been surprised to see him try and drop a bunt down the third base line, especially with how far back Arenas is playing over there at third base. But now does not have that luxury when you're in 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 to Noah Bridges. Swung on and missed, strike 3. So Bridges goes down on strikes, but the Braves come back and they tie the game. We're all square here at Bourne Park as we end the 5th inning. Score is still 1-1, and we'll head into the top of the 6th. All stirred up and with a new pitcher as well. We'll talk about it when we come back here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. It'll be the top of the order for the Chatham A's here in the top of the 6th inning. They're going to be going up against a new arm here. Harrison Rakowski's night is over. He had 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, which was earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And now it's going to be Carl Johnson here for the Braves.
Carl Johnson from UConn. We've seen him get action in now 3 games. This will be his 3rd. Still has a flat 0.00 ERA, pitching 4 complete innings, only allowing 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, and walking 1. The last time the Braves had him pitch was against Brewster, where he threw 3 innings in relief, not allowing a hit and striking out 2 in that game against the Whitecaps. So now he comes in the top of the 6th to face this Chatham lineup that's only been able to get 2 hits and 1 run.
Yeah, so with Rakowski leaving here in the 5th inning, he's going to be picking up a no decision in this one, his first one of the season. First pitch to Tyler Doan just misses the plate inside for ball 1. Doan's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out, and Carl Johnson has the opportunity here to pick up his first win of the season with a solid outing. 1-0 in the zone for strike 1, and evens things up at a ball and a strike.
Carl Johnson, another one of those big, tall pitchers, 6'5", 190 pounds.
Here's the 1-1. That one misses down low, 2-1 out the count. And it feels like with this roster, Sam, that the Braves might have the best basketball team on the Cape.
Yeah, absolutely. Blake Burzell, another one of those big, tall pitchers.
6'7", yeah.
Rakowski up there as well. Certainly being tall gives you an edge on the mound.
2-1 misses upstairs. Count now at 3 balls and 1 strike. No shortage in height. And that was a nice pun as well. That was not intended. No shortage in height. Short height.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm short. I should have gotten that.
Went over your head. Hey, 3-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Count fills up at 3-2.
Carl Johnson at UConn was 2-1. Mostly came on in relief, pitched 33 complete innings, a 4.09 ERA, 1 save, and 29 strikeouts, 29 walks.
Payoff pitch to Jones is flown out into right field. Kyle Hess moving back on it, and he's under it and puts it away through the sun for out number 1.
At bat, number 40 from Oklahoma State University.
So now it's Caden Polkovich stepping in. He's also 0 for 2. Flew out his first time and then grounded out his second time to first base. And the Braves bullpen doing what it's asked to do almost every single game as Polkovich swings and misses at the first pitch.
Really, the only game we saw the bullpen struggle was that first game against Chatham on Sunday, where it was an 8-2 victory. Sean Harney came in relief.
0-1 is nubbed off the end of the bat foul toward the Braves dugouts. And Carl Johnson quickly has an 0-2 lead over Polkovich. Here's the 0-2. Just misses the outside corner. Home plate umpire Chris Kane not giving Johnson the call there. Counting out a ball and 2 strikes. Johnson sets in. Here's the 1-2, and that misses down and away, and the count very quickly is all evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson shakes off a sign, working from the stretch here with nobody on. Fires the 2-2, swung on and missed. It's a strikeout for Carl Johnson, his first one this appearance, and still has not given up a run or a hit yet after that Brewster outing.
Nice pitch on 2-2 to Polkovich, who also homered in the game a few days ago for Chatham, and Carl Johnson retires Polkovich for the 3rd time. The 1-2-3 batters for the Anglers have only been able to get on once, and that's been O'Gwynn, who only got on with a walk in the 4th inning.
And he steps up now 0 for 1 with that walk. He also flew out to Kyle S. his first time in the 1st inning. It does feel almost watered down, this lineup, without Spencer Torkelson, as O'Gwynn looks at a first pitch ball and misses down, but not a lot of slouches necessarily on this team either. You have the likes of O'Gwynn, Alex Terrell, and Ben Ramirez in there as well, as the 1-0 finds a zone. 1-1 now the count.
Torkelson, in the few games he played, only played 5, batted .385 in 13 plate appearances, 5 hits, 2 doubles, 7 RBIs.
1-1 pitch misses way outside. 2-1 now, and you can't do a whole lot better than that, Sam.
No, absolutely not. Not to mention also 2 home runs as well against Bourne.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1. This one driven into left center field. Rivoli's right on it, though. He did not have to move far to get that one, and he puts it away for outs number 3. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Bravos. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 1-1 our score, and you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the 6th inning here. 1-1 score between the Bravos and the Anglers here at Doran Park. First pitch to McKenzie. Finds the zone for strike one. McKenzie so far in tonight's game, he's 0 for 1. He walked and later stole seconds in the first inning and then flew out to rights back in the fourth. This is likely going to be Dane Acker's last inning as the 0-1 is curved, and it's going to be fair down the left field line. It's going to be extra bases for Jake McKenzie. He rounds first. He might go for 3. He's headed for it. The throw coming in from left field is not in time. It's a leadoff triple for Jake McKenzie.
Jake McKenzie roping that ball right down the third base line. It got all the way in the corner of the ballpark, a little left of the 330 sign, and Jamal O'Gwyn couldn't find it. That allowed Jake McKenzie to round all the way over to third, and that is a big leadoff hit with Xavier Warren coming up.
Xavier Warren steps up with the opportunity to give the Braves the lead here against the first place Chatham Anglers. Warren on tonight's game is 0 for 2. And he takes a first pitch ball and misses way up and out, and he leads 1 ball and no strikes.
That's just the second triple for the Braves this year, the first coming from the newly released A.J. Curtis.
Warren struck out the last time up, and that was against Dan Acker. Here's the 1-0. That one finds the zone right at the knees. Count evens up at a ball and a strike, and what a big opportunity here, Sam, for the Braves to build some momentum here, getting the lead.
Xavier Warren, who actually got a couple RBIs in the 4-2 victory for the Braves against Chatham in Game 2 of the doubleheader, has a big chance for some more. He has 6 RBIs. That leads the team.
Picked up 2 against Chatham. The only 2 hits in the game against YD on Monday. Here's the 1-1. That one squirts through the legs of Welch. Here comes McKenzie, and he's in without a slide. The Braves take the lead here in the bottom of the 6th, 2-1.
Well, Warren didn't have to do anything. It got right underneath the legs of Charlie Welch, got all the way to the backstop, and McKenzie, no struggles getting home. He comes up, standing up, and the Braves take the lead in the bottom half of the 6th.
It'll go down as a wild pitch, and the Braves take the lead and now hit the reset button here on the bottom of the 6th. Still with nobody else, have the opportunity to create some more offense. Here's the 2-1. This one flown out deep down the left field line. It's going to be foul, though, out of play. The count now at 2-2.
The Braves come back from a deficit for the first time this season and actually take the lead here. It's big for the confidence.
Yeah, first time coming back and taking the lead so far this season. 2-2 is in the zone for strike 3. Warren thought it missed the zone, but Chris Kane, the umpire behind the plate, had a different idea, and there's the first out here in the bottom of the 6th.
Warren's strikeout number is getting a little high. That was his second strikeout in this game so far. He walked in the other at-bat, and now on the season, that's 10 strikeouts for him in 33 at-bats.
Jimmy Glowacki now steps in for the Braves. He's 1 for 2, singled his last time against Acker, and then grounded into an ending double play in the first. Takes a first pitch up high for ball 1. Infield playing for the most part, I should say, straight up against Glowacki. Outfield a little shifted to the left as the 1-0 is in the zone. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Acker working in the windup here. Kicks and delivers the 1-1. Breaking ball. Beautiful pitch there from Acker. And it finds his zone for the 1-2.
Acker giving up the only 2 runs the Braves have scored. And this would realistically, if there wasn't a rotation, probably be his last inning anyways.
Here's the 1-2. From Acker to Glowacki. Misses upstairs. And the count was up at 2-2. And Jeremy Wu Yelland is going to be coming in, at least that's what the schedule says, for Chatham to finish off the final 3 innings. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Jimmy Glowacki. Line foul and out of play. It was hard hit. Sent a couple birds away from their favorite tree over there in right field, and we'll do things once again at 2-2.
Jeremy Wu Yelland, a rising junior from Hawaii. I think he's traveled the farthest.
Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
Hard to beat coming all the way from Hawaii. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Jimmy Glowacki. Grounded up the middle. It's going to be Ramirez, the shortstop who's got it. Throws from just behind second base, and it's in time for out number 2.
Wu Yellen was actually the opening day starter for Hawaii and then got moved to the bullpen, had the second most appearances on the team in 2019, went 2-4 with a 4.86 ERA. He's scheduled to take on the Braves for the final 3 innings.
Cade Beloso now steps in for the Bravos. He is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a fielder's choice so far in his first 2 Cape Cod League at-bats. And he gets his first pitch here from Dane Acker. And it misses down and in for ball 1.
Beloso should be a fun player to watch throughout the season for the Braves. Had success at LSU and now with the Braves for the rest of the summer.
Here's the 1-0. That one misses down and in. Count now 2 balls and no strikes. Beloso last summer played in the Great Lakes Collegiate League. The 2018 Louisiana Player of the Year. And that was his final year of high school ball. Here's the 2-0 pitch from Acker to Beloso. Line drive that's going to squirt through the infield past Ramirez. And that's the first hit for Cade Beloso in his Cape Cod League career. It's a 2-out single here in the bottom of the 6th.
5 hits for the Braves. That is exactly what you want to see. After a performance where they only got 2 hits on Monday, they come here against the best team in the league, the best record in the league, and 5 hits, turning that into 2 runs. That is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Kyle Hess now steps in. 1 for 2. He doubled back in the 5th inning. And he later came around to score thanks to Brendan Rivoli. A check swing, this one foul down the third baseline. Harvey Shapiro, the manager down there, makes the play. And Hess falls behind 0-1. Hess coming from Pittsburgh. About a .254 this past year. There's the 0-1. Foul tipped into the glove of Welch, and he falls behind 0-2. For Hess, baseball running in the family. Had a cousin get drafted by the Reds. Played 8 years at the major league level. Drafted about 10 years ago or so. Here's the 0-2 to Hess. Fastball misses way up and out. Waste pitch there from Acker. Now the count at a ball and 2 strikes.
Hess is potentially looking at a lot more playing time now that Alec Burleson is with Team USA and doing their tryouts. So Hess might be one of the main guys they're looking at in the outfield.
Yeah, and even if Burleson does not make the team, it's a 10-day tryout, so Hess definitely has a lot of time to leave an impression as the 1-2 misses down and in. Count now at 2 balls and 2 strike. And what a great opportunity for a lot of these collegiate guys to play for their country, something I'm sure everybody's dreamed about.
Yeah, absolutely. They actually make a few trips to Japan. Chinese Taipei is on there as well. So represent your country internationally playing the game you love.
Here's a 2-2 to Hess. That one's in the dirt, and Welch this time does a nice job of keeping the ball in front, and the count will fill up here at 3-2.
Well, on this, Cade Beloso will be running on a 3-2 2-out situation with Hess at the plate, so he gets a head start, and Hess will be swinging at anything close.
And Beloso, not much of a runner. Only 1 stolen base on the year, so he checks the scoreboard to make sure it is a full count. And it is. Here's the 3-2. There goes Beloso, and it's that slice down the left field line. Beloso's going to have to go back 90 feet and get ready to do it again.
They mentioned Beloso's size. You're right. Not really used to getting the steal sign really only in these situations. So he walks over back to first and is ready to do it again.
It'd be a killer here if Hess found this one off, has to do it for a 3rd time. We'll find out. Acker sets, hands meet in front of the letters. Here's the 3-2, and that just happens. It's another foul ball, and Beloso Probably getting a little annoyed over there. Jogs back to first base, and he'll have to do it for a third time now.
A couple of the Braves laughing in the dugout over there. So he jogs back on over to first and is ready to do it again.
Hess putting together a nice at-bat here against Dane Acker. Likely working his last inning, his last batter, perhaps, if things go his way. Here's a 3-2. There goes Beloso again. And it hits Hess. Watch out. Hess got hit. It looked like maybe on the leg, maybe the thigh. Has a seat on the ground. And he's going to walk that one off down to first base line. And I'll tell you what, Sam, that one hurt from here.
Yeah, that's the second Brave that's been hit by a pitch. Noah Bridges was hit in the third inning, and Hess gets a little bit of a stinger in the sixth. He's on over to first, and Nick Bruiser gets another opportunity. Runners on first and second for the Braves to get a few more insurance runs heading into the seventh.
Bruiser walked back in the fifth inning. 0 for 1, struck out his first time back in the second. First pitch to Bruiser is in the zone for strike one, and Bruiser did not agree with the call. Got a little bit of a sigh as he steps out and gets a sign from Harvey Shapiro, and we're ready to go here at 0-1. Acker gets a sign from the catcher Welch. Comes set, takes a peek at second base, and delivers the 0-1, and it's fouled over the press box. And the count now at 0 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the Braves have only lost consecutive games this season just once. That was in the beginning of the year with losing to Orleans and Harwich, falling to 0-2. And ever since then, have been alternating wins. So they've been right around that mark for a majority of the season.
0 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Nick Bruiser. Chops this one. It's going to be a tough play on the infield, and he can't get the ball as Jorge Arenas was trying to make the play. It fell right in between third base and shortstop, and Arenas tried to make a barehanded play, could not hang on to it, and it will go down, I believe, as a single there for Nick Bruiser.
Arenas and Ramirez were both charging in on it. Arenas tried to pick it up with his bare hand in the shallow infield, and it just kind of skipped up on him. He couldn't maintain it with the right hand, and now the Braves load him up with Burns coming up.
And time is going to be called here. We're going to have a mound visit. And it was almost an impossible play for Jorge Arenas to make over there at third base. The Braves will take it, though, and it loads him up for Peter Bourne, who is 1 for 2 so far in the game. He struck out his first time and laid a perfect bunt, and we're going to have a pitching change. So Dane Acker's night is going to come to an end 1 out early, and it's going to be Jeremy Wu Yelland who comes in to replace him. Jeremy Wu Yelland so far on the season. 2 appearances so far. Has not registered a win or a loss. Has an ERA of 4.5 so far this season. He's given up 4 runs, 3 of which earned in 6 innings of work. 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 8 hits, and one of those hits being a double. So for Dane Acker, he goes 2 2/3 innings, gives up 6 hits, 2 runs, both of which earned, although he is responsible for everybody on the base paths right now. They are loaded. And Jeremy Wu-Yelland, Sam, is being dealt the same card that Sean Harney was dealt.
A tough situation that Harney was dealt on Sunday in the first game of the doubleheader. He came in with the bases loaded and walked Spencer Torkelson and then allowed a grand slam to Jamal O'Gwyn. Now, I don't know if Peter Burns has that kind of power, but he comes in with the bases loaded right after he laid a sacrifice bunt down and got over to first in the 5th inning. He's the one responsible for loading up the bases. Now he comes up himself with the bases loaded and an RBI opportunity in the bottom of the 6th. This is a big big moment for Peter Bourne if he can deliver against a brand new pitcher in Jeremy Wu Yelland.
Peter Bourne with the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Braves have the 2-1 lead over the Chatham Anglers. First pitch misses upstairs, ball 1. Brendan Rivoli is the man on deck. Wu Yelland, the lefty, facing the lefty, Peter Bourne. Hands come set at the waist. The 1-0 is in the zone for a strike count. Now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wu Yelland, like we said, out of Hawaii. Was the opening day starter for the Warriors. Then moved to the bullpen, made the second most amount of appearances on the team. 1-1, breaking ball, misses downstairs. Count now at 2 balls and 1 strike.
For Hess at Boston College, only had 6 RBIs on this season. Now didn't play a majority of the games, but still looking for his first RBI in the Cape League right here, and what a time to do it in the 6th.
He's already 1 for 2 in this game. He was 2 for 3 in the last game against Chatham as he foul tips this one back into the glove of Welsh behind the plate. And the count evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes here with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th with the bases loaded.
Now, Drenis Ozuna over in right field is playing way over from the line. If Burns can rope a ball right down the line like McKenzie did to lead off this inning, that could be 3 runs, and Burns could be possibly over to third.
Yeah, the outfield shifted toward left field. The 2-2 is in the dirt. Welch keeps the ball in front of him, protects a run, and the count now fills up. Everybody's going to be moving here at 3-2 with 2 outs.
You're right. Runners get a head start. Pete Burns, a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Wu Yelland has to be careful with his placement against Burns.
The Braves up 2-1 here against the Chatham Anglers in the bottom of the 6th. Bases are loaded. 3-2 count to Peter Burns. He grounds it foul down the first base line. Beloso once again unlucky. He's on the base pass. Had to do it a couple of times earlier with Kyle Hess. Now it's a jog back, as does everybody else, and resets.
He's getting pretty used to this.
Yeah.
Going early.
Yeah.
Routine. Terrell at first is playing pretty closely to the line, so Burns has to make sure he hits one hard here.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here to Peter Burns. Runners go, and it's in the dirt. It's the easiest RBI you can get. An RBI, a walk. Beloso jogs in from third base, and the Braves have a 2-run lead now, 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th.
Well, we saw Peter Burns have a great at-bat in the 3rd inning against Zarian Sharp, the starter for the Anglers. He worked a 3-2 count, fouled off a few pitches, ended up striking out. He has the same situation in the 6th inning with the bases loaded, works a 3-2 count, and this time gets the walk, has an RBI, and gets an insurance run for the Braves, 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Judd Fabian, who steps in for Brendan Rivoli. Harvey Shapiro playing the matchups here. Rivoli usually is a lefty. This time they go with Fabian, the righty, to face the lefty pitcher in Wu Yelland. Fabian's first pitch misses the zone, and he leads in the count now 1-0. So the Braves tack on another run here, another 2 runs, I should say, in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the 1-0 pitch, Fabian misses the zone. The count now at 2-0. And we're going to have another mound visit here from the Chatham pitching coach, trying to settle his pitcher, Wu Yelland, down.
Fabian, coming into this game for the first time, had an 0-for-3 2-strikeout game against YD on Monday. Got 1 hit in the 2nd game against Chatham. He's 1-for-5 on the season with a run scored. He's also still looking to make his appearance known here for the Braves. Has gotten a few starts over in center field. Noah Bridges gets the start in center field today, but Fabian with a chance to make an impact.
And these 2 teams 1-1 against each other this season. They split the doubleheader as the 2-0 pitch misses upstairs for ball 3. And Fabian here with the bases loaded has got a 3-0 count. Judd Fabian went hitless in that game against YD. Here's the 3-0. That one misses upstairs. There's a 4-pitch walk. Make it back-to-back walks. It's an RBI for Fabian. And now the Braves have a 3-run lead. It's 4-1 for the Bourne Braves.
And that is exactly what you don't want to see if you're the Anglers. 2 RBI walks as Wu Yellen, the first 2 batters he's seen, he's walked both of them and let up 2 more runs. It's now a 3-run lead for the Braves.
And for the first time in this season, the Braves have batted around. Jake McKenzie led us off, and it's back to the top of the order for Noah Bridges. He gets his first pitch from Wu Yellen, and uncharacteristically, he takes it for a strike on the first pitch.
Well, with Wu Yellen struggling with location as he's done, not surprised to see Bridges hold off at that first pitch.
A 3-run bottom of the 6th gives the Braves the 4-1 lead as the 0-1 pitch almost goes back to the backstop and misses way up and in, and the count now at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, the count to Noah Bridges here with 2 away in the bottom of the 6th. And that pitch finds the zone, and Bridges falls behind 1-2.
Bridges just 1 RBI on the season so far. He's looking to add to that with this at-bat.
There's an arm working right now in the Chatham bullpen. Just in case. Here's the 1-2. This one fouled off, and Bridges stays alive for at least another pitch here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Noah Bridges from North Carolina, Wilmington, has the opportunity here to really bust it open in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the 1-2. Fouled right back into the screen. A count now will remain at 1-2.
Bridges just has to get a hit here. Doesn't matter where it is. A ground ball into the outfield will score 2 and really widen this game up going into the later innings.
Bridges is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch and a strikeout so far. Here's the 1-2 from Wu Yellen, and it just misses the zone. If you're Chatham, you really want that call. It's just outside, and Bridges evens the count up at 2-2.
With the amount of pitches that Wu Yellen is just going to throw in this first inning, the order might be a little screwed up for the Chatham side of things if Wu Yellen possibly can't make it the 3 innings.
Here's the 2-2 to Bridges. He swings and misses. Foul tipped into the glove of Connor Welch, and that'll end the inning for the Braves. But they put on 3 runs. The 6th inning. We'll head into the top of the 7th now. 4-1, Bourne over Chatham, and you're watching it here on the Braves Baseball Network. Final third of the ball game, and the Braves have a 3-run lead over the Chatham Anglers. And Carl Johnson still on the mound for the Bravos. He's going to be facing the 3-4-5 or the 4-5-6 spot, I should say. Charlie Welch, Alex Terrell, and Paxton Wallace.
Carl Johnson had a pretty good start to his outing so far. 1, 2, 3 batters he was able to get out in his first inning.
First pitch to Welch is a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Welch so far in today's game is 0 for 2 with a flyout and a strikeout. Welch, the catcher out of Pepperdine. Looks at a breaking ball that's in the zone for strike 2.
For Carl Johnson, it must feel great on the mound actually having a 3-run cushion now. When he came in, it was still a tie ball game at 1-1, but now with the Braves in the lead, has a little bit of confidence and juice on the mound.
0-2 misses outside. And for a pitching staff, it's great. You get to be a little bit more aggressive going after hitters who are, in a situation where you don't want to make a mistake, might actually end up making a mistake. Count is 1-2 to Charlie Welch. Johnson comes set and fires the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed by Welch, and Burns hung on to it for strike 3. No need to throw over down, and it's a quick out number 1 at the top of the 7th.
It was a great low pitch from Carl Johnson to strike out Welch on the first batter that he faces in this inning.
Alex Terrell now steps in. He's 0 for 2. A pump out and a fly out. It's allowed fly outs his last time up in the bottom of the 5th inning. Looks at the first pitch, and it misses up and in for ball 1.
And we talked about it in the open, but I cannot believe this season is already, after this game, a quarter through.
Yeah. And the 1-0 is popped up. It's going to go foul and just lands on the other side of the netting. And the count now at 1-1. And it's also a little crazy to think that if it weren't for this rain, the season would almost be halfway over too. We've had about eight postponements. So instead of playing our 11th game tonight, we should be playing near our 19th.
Yeah, the rain really has kind of jumbled things up.
1-1 misses up and in. Now Terrell leads 2-1.
And credit to the Bourne grounds crew for getting this game in. I mean, this field in the morning was completely soaked from the rain the night before.
2-1 also misses inside, and Terrell has a quick 3-1 lead. And a bunch of interns here. Trainer Megan Wu is also Megan One, I should say. Also coming through as the 3-1 is a little excuse me swing that goes foul. Peter Burns makes the pitch on the run for out number 2.
And that was ball 4 to Terrell that he tried to bowl back his swing, but just gets a little bit of it. It hangs in the air just enough for Peter Burns to run over and make the play for the second out of the inning.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter here in place of Paxton Wallace for the Anglers. And it looks like it's going to be Anthony Villar stepping in. So Paxton Wallace's night comes to an end, and they'll bring on Villar. Villar batting .333 so far this season, 5 for 15 in his 7 games played. Villar out of the U, Miami University over in Florida. And his first pitch from Johnson finds his own for strike 1.
And Villar in the Cape so far, he's 5 for 15, a .333 average. Has scored 2 runs, walked twice, and struck out 4 times in 7 games played.
0-1 pitch bounces in front of the plate. Count now at a ball and a strike. And Carl Johnson, once again, Sam, what an outing so far from him in his 1 2/3 innings pitched.
It's just the relief pitching for the Braves. They've been solid all season. There's been a few outliers, but mainly this is one of the best pitching staffs in the Cape, and that's what's really keeping this team in contention so far throughout the early part of the season.
1-1 pitch is in the dirt for ball 2. Coming into tonight's game, the Braves are 5 points behind of the leaders, the Wareham Gamen, the defending champions. 2-1 is a line drive right back up the middle. It's a pinch hit single for Anthony Villar. And 2-out base runner as well for Chatham as they try and claw back here from 3 behind.
Just Chatham's 3rd hit of the game so far, and it comes from a pinch hitter. Anthony Villar steps in and swings at a 1-1 pitch and cracks it right to straightaway center field. So now Chatham has a base runner on with 2 outs in the inning.
First pitch to Ben Ramirez misses up and out for ball 1. Ramirez 0 for 2 with a fielder's choice and a ground out to first. His 2 times up to the plates. First time going up against Johnson. The 1-0 misses upstairs. Now 2 balls and no strike. That ends a streak for Carl Johnson, where he went 4 innings in a row without surrendering a hit. That comes to an end here with 2 outs in the 7th inning as Peter Burns goes to meet with his pitcher. Calm him down, help him find the zone here. Ramirez, the shortstop, looked at ball 3 that misses upstairs yet again. And Johnson, after surrendering the hit, is having problems with those release points finding the zone. Johnson sets. Here's a 3-0, and that one finds a zone on the outside half of the plate. Now, pin. Here's a 3-1. This one fouled off, and that caught Peter Burns, and he's feeling that one. He's going to want to work that one off. Count moves to 3-2 regardless.
Now stinging a little bit, and Carl Johnson is putting up a good battle on the mound. Talking with the umpire right now, but has worked this count to a 3-ball, 2-strike count after falling behind 3-0.
Yeah, classic umpire move right there by Chris Kane, who's in the gear tonight. When the catcher gets hit, you just want to buy him some time, let him feel it out, work it off, and get back in the zone here for the 3-2 counts. Here's the pitch, payoff pitch, and it's popped up on the infield. Bruiser is the one taking control of it. Carl Johnson's got it. He gets called off by Bruiser. Johnson wanted to make the play with a smile. He walks off the field and retires the side. 1 hit, no runs, and 1 left on for the Anglers. Our score heading into the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time here at Doran. It's 4-1 Bourne, and you're watching it here on the Braves YouTube channel. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Braves on top of the Anglers 4-1, and Jake McKenzie steps back in. He's 1 for 2 so far tonight. Walked his first time, flew out back in the 4th, and of course had that leadoff triple in the last inning. And later came around to score to give the Braves the lead. Here's the first pitch, and he drives this one into left center field. Polkovich moving back on it. He had a nice beat on it and makes the play for out number 1 on a hard hit ball from McKenzie.
Yeah, unfortunately for McKenzie, that hung up just a little too long over in left center field. He's really been seeing the ball well tonight, and that's his first time against Jeremy Wu Yelland. He gets all over him, just can't get that ball to fall.
Now Xavier Warren, who steps in. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And he walks back in the first inning. And the first pitch misses up high. Warren batting from the right side to go against the lefty Wu Yelland. Here's the 1-0. That one misses the zone low. The ball popped out of the glove of Welch, and now the count moves to 2 balls and no strikes to Xavier Warren.
Warren looking for a hit after 2 straight strikeouts, 1 swinging in the 4th and 1 looking. Last inning, he's looking for a ball in the outfield for a single.
Here's the 2-0 to Xavier Warren. That one finds a zone, paints the black on the outside part of the plate. The count now at 2 balls and a strike.
A lot of these players excited for tomorrow, too, for the Cape Cod League Day at Fenway Park. A chance to get a workout in one of the most historic stadiums in the country.
2-1 to Warren. Ground ball right back up the middle. The second baseman, Jones, can't hang on to it, and Warren thought about going to second base. Jones tried to backhand it. It bounced to look like off his foot. Ball skipped under the glove, goes into center field, and Warren finds himself on first base.
Yeah, that'll be a single for Xavier Warren. It just got underneath the glove of Jones, and like you said, skipped right into his cleats, and he knocked it into the outfield, so that'll allow Xavier Warren to get over to first for his first hit of the ball game.
Warren gets on first, and that brings up Jimmy Glowacki here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And he goes first pitch swinging, and he fouls it back into the glove of Welch, and he falls behind 0-1.
He's already got one double play in the first inning. A 6-4-3 double play he grounded into in the beginning of the game.
0-1 to Glowenke. Misses the zone and also misses the glove of Welsh back behind the plate. He could not hang on to it. That's going to go down as a pass ball, I believe, as it looked like Welsh probably should have caught that one. Little pitch out move. Warren moves up to second base, and now the Braves have another runner in scoring position.
And again, the way that Jake McKenzie was able to come home in the bottom of the sixth inning was now ruled a wild pitch that went underneath the glove of Charlie Welch at the catcher position. This time a total pass ball. He had it in his glove and dropped it, allowing Xavier Warren to now get over to second in scoring position.
Braves up here 4-1 in the bottom of the seventh inning. Here's the pitch to Glowenke as he fouls this one off down the right field play. Count moves to 1-2 strikes. And I believe Carl Johnson's day might come to an end. He's jogging to the bullpen right now. And there is some action moving over there. 1-2 strikes to count to Jimmy Glowenke. Warren, the runner, over at second base. As Wu Yellen made a move over towards second base. No one covering those, so Warren just steps back on the base. And now we're all ready here at 1-2 strikes here with one away in the bottom of the seventh inning. The Braves up by 3 on Chatham. Here's the 1-2. That one's in the dirt. It's almost got away from Welch, but he did a nice job to keep it in front. County was up at 2-2.
Yeah, Welch that time making up for the last pass ball, gets out in front of it, keeps the ball in front of him, and Xavier Warren will stay over at second base.
2-2 strikes to count to Jimmy Glowenke. Here's the pitch from Wu Yellen, and it's in the zone for strike 3. Glowenke goes down looking, and that's the second out here in the bottom of the seventh.
Wu Yellen he gave him the hard stuff on that 2-2 pitch, gets the inside corner. Glowenke thought it was ball 4, backed out of the zone, but he gets the call on the inside corner, strikeout for Wu Yellen. That'll bring back up Beloso.
And Cade Beloso is 1 for 3 tonight. Single back in the sixth inning and later scored off of a Dane Acker walk. Wu Yellen takes a look at second base. Now fires the first pitch to Beloso, and it's in the dirt for ball 1. And the one common thread that we've seen with this Braves team all season long, Sam, is that they are not afraid to go deep into counts and not afraid to take walks. Well, yeah, comes set, fires the 1-0, and it's fouled off down the left field line out of play. Count now at 1-1.
The players have been extremely disciplined at the plate, extremely calm at the plate. You never see any batters really get flustered with 2 strikes. They're always extremely calm, and that's allowed the Braves to work deep in counts and run up the pitch count.
Wu Yellen takes a look at second, now comes home with the 1-1 pitch. That one kisses the dirt, and now Beloso leads 2-1.
Beloso already a single in this game last inning, came around to score. Looking for the same thing here with Xavier Warren over at second.
2-1, finds a zone right on the black on the outside corner. Count evens up at 2-2 strikes, and now Beloso forced a battle here with 2 down. Wu Yellen sets here, hands meet at the waist. Warren, the runner, at second. 4-1, Braves lead. Here's the 2-2, and it hits Beloso. It's another hit batter. And they're going to check to see if the bat went around, because if the bat did go around, it'd be a dead ball strike. The umpire says he did not, and it'll go down as a third hit batsman for the Braves, and with runners now on first and second with 2 away.
Beloso kind of turned the wrong way when he got hit by that ball. He turned the way of his swing and opened his body up. It ended up hitting him right in the shoulder, it looks like. So he's on over to first. That's the third hit batsman on the Braves lineup. So really struggling with location. The Anglers just can't seem to find the zone. The third hit batter.
First pitch to Kyle Hess, gets behind the catcher Welch. Everyone will move up 90 feet. It's another wild pitch. You mentioned there's some command issues. There sure are. That one almost hit Hess. Hess moved out of the way from it. And now with 2 outs here, there's runners on second and third for the Braves.
There's a run 90 feet away and a good opportunity for Kyle Hess, who was hit by a pitch in the last inning, allowed him to get over to first, and he came around to score. So really the story for the Anglers has been their inconsistencies in pitching.
1-0 finds a zone on the blackout side. Now moves to a ball and a strike. Hess, you mentioned, got hit his last time. He also came around to score. So 1 for 2 in the game. Struck out looking his first time and then doubled back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the 1-1. That's in the zone for strike 2. 1-2. Now the count to Kyle Hess, who's scored 2 runs tonight for the Braves. Hess falls behind quickly here. 1-2. Here's a pitch from Wu Yelland, and he defensively swings, fouls this one off into the screen, and the count will stay put.
Yeah, solid game for Kyle Hess, who began this game with a strikeout looking in the 2nd and came back with a big double in the 5th to and came around to score for the 4th.
Goes down looking. Good pitch there from Wu Yelland to get his man. The Braves scoreless here in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're going to head into the top of the 8th with the Braves up on the Chatham Anglers 4-1 here, and you're watching it on the Bourne Braves YouTube channel. Anglers coming down to their final bats here, top of the 8th, and then we head into the top of the 9th. Not a lot of time for offense. They trail this one to the Braves, 4-1, and the Braves have ended Carl Johnson's night. 2 innings pitched, only giving up 1 hit, striking out 2, and also walking 2. And they go to a familiar face here in the bullpen, Sam, Kieran Shaw.
Kieran Shaw comes in for his 4th game pitch. That's the most out of any Braves pitcher. A 3.37 ERA with a 1-0 record, 2 2/3 innings pitched. 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 6 strikeouts. Last time he pitched was not too long ago. It was Sunday night in the 2nd game against Chatham. He went 2/3 of an inning, allowing 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, and 2 strikeouts. So struggling a little bit in that game that the Braves ended up winning. He now comes to face Chatham yet again with a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, they went to Tyler Brocious pretty quickly in that appearance against Chatham Sunday night, and he faces Jorge Arenas here, and he throws a first pitch strike. Arenas, so far tonight, he's 1 for 2, had an RBI single back in the 5th inning. Also flew out to right. Shaw coming from Harvard University. The 0-1 pitch grounded down the third baseline, foul. And Shaw very quickly has an 0-2 lead. And for Carl Johnson, right now he's in the line for the win. It'll be interesting to see here if we'll see Tyler Brocious here tonight, Sam.
Yeah, Brocious, pretty much solidified as the closer. He's been outstanding in the 3 times we've seen.
Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. It's a 3-pitch strikeout from Kieran Shaw to kick off his appearance against the Anglers tonight. 1 away here in the top of the 8th.
Rakowski starts the game and does extremely well. And in relief, Carl Johnson, who's in line for the win, just allows 1 hit through 2 innings, striking out 2. And Kieran Shaw, in his appearance now, striking out the first batter he sees. The Braves pitching has been excellent as per usual as this season has gone.
And stepping in for the Anglers here is Cade Cabanis. Coming in for Drenis Ozuna. Cabanis so far on the year is batting .182 as the pitch is swung on and missed. Cabanis has 2 hits so far the year, one of them being a home run, one of them being a double. Here's a pitch from Shaw. This one popped up foul and nicks the screen and heads out of play. The count now moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
Cabanis was picked by the Cardinals in the 2016 draft in the 21st round. From Oklahoma State, made the Big 12 All-Freshman team in 2017.
Here's the 1-2. It's a breaking ball, and it's in there. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts from Kieran Shaw. One swinging, one looking, and that pitch was nasty, Sam.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth. That breaking ball slid right in the zone, and Joran off the air. We were watching him warm up. You told me that he was throwing some pretty nasty stuff in warm-ups, and we see it live action in a game. He gives a nice breaking ball to Cade Cabanis for his second strikeout and second out of the inning.
Tyler Dones now steps in for the Anglers. First pitch from Shaw, right back up the middle, and Shaw's got it. He'll run over the first base, underhands it, and it's a very effective 8th inning from Kieran Shaw. No hits, no runners, nobody left on. 2 strikeouts for the man out of Harvard University. We head to the bottom of the 8th. The Braves on top 4-1 over the A's, and you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube network. Bottom of the 8th inning here from Dorn Park. The Braves have a 4-1 lead, and Chatham's schedule has gone out the window here. They throw an unplanned pitcher in Dawson Merriman, Sam.
Merriman last pitched in the second game against Bourne in the doubleheader. A 2-4 loss. He pitched 2/3 of an inning in that game, allowing 1 hit, striking out 1, just facing 3 batters. And he comes in to face Nick Brewster. His overall numbers, he's appeared in 4 games, hasn't allowed an earned run. His ERA is locked at 0.00 with 1 save, only pitching 3 2/3 innings on the season and striking 5.
Nick Brewster is going to go into center field, and it's a first person on base here for the Bourne Braves in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And that ball just kind of skipped up on Ramirez. That will go down as an error. So that is the first error of the game for Chatham, and it just kind of skipped up on his arm. And we've seen that a few times in the field, especially for Chatham, and that time it just gets Ben Ramirez.
You have to wonder how much the field conditions come into play with a ball like that. Peter Burns now steps in, and he looks at a first pitch strike. The final line for Jeremy Wu Yellen is he pitched an inning in the third, only giving up 1 hit, no runs despite walking in 2. Those are credited back to Dane Acker, who's in line for the loss as it stands right now. Wu Yellen struck out 3 and walked 2 as well. Well, 0-1 pitch to Burns is line foul down the left field line, out of play, and he falls behind 0-2.
And Burns has put together a pretty solid game, a single in the 5th, and RBI walk in the 6th. He's just 1 for 2 so far with an RBI. Not too bad.
The 0-2 pitch to Peter Burns, fouled right back in front of us, and the count will stay put here at 0-2.
Braves looking for a few more runs before they go into the last inning. This Chatham lineup is 3rd in the league in average, so you have to believe they're not done yet.
Yeah, cannot count out this fire offense. And the 0-2 pitch popped up foul. The third baseman, Arenas, has plenty of room down the third base line, and he makes the catch in foul territory for out number 1.
Yeah, Burns just getting under that pitch. He was late on it. It was a high fly ball, and Arenas had just enough arm on the third base side before he reached the Braves dugout to get the put out for the first out of the inning.
Judd Fabian now steps in. And out of the University of Florida, gets his first pitch from Arian, and he rockets it into right field. Bruiser is going to round second, and he'll stop there. And it's a 1-out single for Judd Fabian.
Good contact from Fabian on the first pitch of the at-bat. He goes for it and gets over to first, gets Bruiser over to second, and back to the top of the lineup for the Braves with Noah Bridges, first and second.
And Bridges will be looking to get something going in. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Was hit by a pitch in the third inning. Runners on first and second here. Bottom of the 8th inning. 4-1 lead for the Braves, and Bridges swings and misses at his first pitch. And for players like Noah Bridges, Sam, on these temporary contracts, it's important to make every at-bat count.
Yeah, certainly, and he's trying to do that today. He struck out twice, a ground out and a hit by pitch. So he struggled in some situational hitting, but he's got another great opportunity here.
0-1 is fouled back into the glove of Welch behind the plate. That'll go as a foul tip for strike 2.
Bridges is one of the more talkative players on the team. A lot of life coming out of the way he plays the game.
He's behind here, 0-2 to Dawson Merriman, and he grounds this one to the third baseman Arenas, who brings it over. Jones at second base. They make the out at first. Bridges gets to first on the fielder's choice, and there's 2 away here in the bottom of the 8th.
A hard hit ground ball right in the area of short and third. So Bridges can't get a hit out of that, but he gets the runner over to third, and now McKenzie coming up, who's already had a solid day with a triple in this one, now with an opportunity to get an RBI.
Yeah, McKenzie is 1 for 3 with that triple. Came around to score. Also walked in the first inning. And the first pitch he hits right in front of the plate. It's ruled a foul ball as the catcher Welch was trying to make a play on it. As he disagrees with the umpire, it's going to go as a noisy first strike to McKenzie.
You mentioned McKenzie playing second base for the first time today, or this season. Typically plays over in left field. We've seen him play that position quite a few times, but now back home in the infield today.
0-1 to McKenzie, misses the zone outside, and the count now evens at a ball and a strike. 0-1 strike is a breaking ball that finds the zone here. McKenzie falls behind in the count 1-2. Runners on the corners here in the bottom of the 8th. Braves up 4-1. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. McKenzie goes down on strikes for the first time today. Now the Braves failed to get a run here in the bottom of the 8th, but they head into the top of the 9th inning, only down by 3 runs. Or only up by 3 runs, I should say. 4-1 Braves here as we head into the final frame, and you're watching it here on the Bourne Braves YouTube network. 2, 3, 4 spots due up in the final frame here. Top of the 9th inning. The Braves up 4-1 on the Anglers, and it's an even more familiar face coming out of the pen. The closer, Tyler Brocious. Sam.
It's Tyler Brocious time. It's his 4th game he's appeared in, has not allowed a single hit. He's been tabbed as the Braves closer, already has 2 saves on the season. We saw him appear in the second game against Chatham in the Sunday doubleheader, pitched 1 1/3, no hits allowed, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, and collected the save there. He's looking for another big-time save in this opportunity.
3rd save of the season here on the line for Brocious, as first pitch to Caden Polkovich misses the zone outside for ball 1.
And Brocious is going to have to go up against the meat of this order, 2, 3, and 4, with Jamal O'Gwyn in the on-deck spot.
Here's the 1-0. This one fouled over the nets, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike.
Brocious, of course, with the submarine motion that we are now accustomed to seeing from him. Haven't seen it too much around the Cape, but actually drags his knuckles on the ground with this submarine motion.
Here's the 1-1 to Polkovich. Grounded foul down the first base line, and Brocious has the lead in the at-bats, 1-2, out of the University of Rhode Island. He's pitched 4 1/3 so far this season. Like Sam mentioned, 6 strikeouts to his credit so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Caden Polkovich. Here's the pitch from Brocious. And it just misses the zone. Brocious wanted that one bad. Burns couldn't hang on to it as it heads off his glove, and the count evens up at 2-2.
Brocious extremely relaxed on the mound from Rhode Island. Has already made a significant impact for the Braves in his games he's appeared in so far.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Caden Polkovich. Here's the delivery from Brocious. Popped up. It's a moon ball on the infield. Warren is calling for it down the third base line, and he makes the catch for out number 1. The Braves 2 outs away.
Good way to start that outing for Tyler Brocious to get Polkovich to fly out, and the player that homered yesterday in Chatham's game goes down. He's now 0 for 4, and that'll bring up O'Gwyn, who's pretty due for a hit. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
Big matchup here, just like when Brocious had to go up against Torkelson on Sunday. First pitch to O'Gwyn is in the zone for strike 1, and it seems like Brocious is just a machine out there on the mound.
He's not afraid of any hitter or anything on this Chatham team. He's pretty content out there on the mound. He's just trying to mow all these players.
Here's the 0-1 to O'Gwyn. This one almost hit him. Inside, got past the catcher Burns, and the count will even up at a ball and a strike.
Brocious has a pretty comfortable 3-run lead the Braves were able to get in the bottom of the 6th inning.
1 ball, 1 strike the count to Jamal O'Gwyn. From Brocious is in the zone, paints the black on the outside corner, and now it's 1-2. And in the Cape Cod Baseball League, these players shine from, you thought, possibly nowhere. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. And Brocious is shining right now. It's another strikeout, and the Braves 1 out away from beating the Chatham Anglers.
A beautiful off-speed pitch he gave to Jamal O'Gwyn on the outside part of the plate. He gets O'Gwyn to chase, and there's 2 down. Tyler Brocious has been so dominant in now his 4th game he's appeared in.
Charlie Welch now for the Anglers. Trying to save the game as the first pitch to him misses outside for ball 1. Brocious comes set. Hands meet at the waist. Here's the 1-0. Finds the zone on the outside corner. The count, 1 ball and 1 strike now to Welch.
Perfectly placed pitch from Brocious on the high outside corner. And he gets the call on the strike. Welch thought about it, but it's a called strike anyways.
Here's the 1-1. Fly ball into left field. Fabian is back on it. He's got it, and that's the ball game. Put a bow on it. The submarine sinks the angler ship once again. Brocious picks up his second save against the Anglers, his third on the season, and the Braves walk away with the 4-1 win over the Anglers.
A great win for the Bourne Braves, who now move to 5-6 on the season, and a great way to bounce back from a Monday loss where the bats were so cold. They come alive for 8 hits, 4 runs, and the pitching with Rakowski at the helm starting this game, only allowing 3 hits and 1 run to one of the best batting averages in the Cape. A great win for the Braves. They win it 4-1, Jordan.
And they didn't. I know they got 8 hits, Sam, but they did it really without that one big hit. It was plate discipline, playing small ball, advancing on wild pitches. This is a win we haven't really seen from this team yet this season.
Yeah, and one of the big moments in the game was Peter Burns and Judd Fabian both walking in the bottom of the 6th inning. And at that time, it was a new pitcher. Jeremy Wu Yellen came into that game, and the first batter he saw was Peter Burns, who he walked, and then walked Judd Fabian. Those were 2 extra runs that the Braves really needed at the end of that game, insurance runs, and they were able to increase that lead to 4-1 and hold on for the victory here in this one. But a very Bourne Braves way of winning this game, getting 8 hits, 4 runs, but really the walks were what were able to separate them from the Chatham Anglers at the end of this game.
And the pitching, once again, Sam, does it again. Only 1 hit, or only 1 run, I should say, off of 3 hits. And like normal for this team, it was a team effort from the top to the bottom, starting with Harrison Rakowski.
Yeah, Rakowski came out and threw 5 great innings, only allowed 2 hits. He was the one that got the 1 earned run. He struck out 2 and walked 2. Carl Johnson came out of the pen and did extremely well as well. 2 innings pitched on his side, only allowing 1 hit, 2 strikeouts, and no walks. Kieran Shaw threw a great inning. No hits allowed on his part. And Tyler Brocious, what more can you say about him? The certified closer for the Braves shuts the door and gets the win, secures the win for the Braves against the Anglers.
So our final line from tonight's game, the Chatham Anglers, 1 run off of 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. The Braves, on the other hand, 4 runs on 8 hits, no errors, with 11 people left on base. The winning pitcher is going to be Carl Johnson, who moves to 1-0 on the year. Dane Acker falls to 0-1. He's the losing pitcher in tonight's contest. Tyler Brocious picks up his 3rd save of the season. Game time was 2 hours and 17 minutes on this Wednesday, June 26th. The Braves pick up the 4-1 win over the Angler. They take 2 out of 3 for them, if you count the doubleheader on Sunday, and they create some more separation between them and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and also have the opportunity to jump the Falmouth Commodores, depending on the outcome of their game tonight. So that's going to be it from us. Braves are off tomorrow, going to be working out at Fenway Park on Thursday. Then they're back in action on Friday. For Sam Wiederhaft, the rest of the Braves media team, I'm Jordan Palacio signing off tonight from Dorn Park. Once again, the Braves get the big 4-1 win over the Chatham Anglers and move to 1 game under 500. Until next time, we'll see you at Dorn Park. For Sam Wiederhaft, one more time, Jordan Palacio. Good night, everyone. And a very special treat here as we wrap up things on our post-game show here. Jordan Palacio alongside the closer, Tyler Brocious. Tyler, appreciate you stepping in.
Absolutely.
And we've seen you now 4 times, have not given up a single hit yet. First things first, I want to know, is there anything you do superstitiously? Is there anything you have to do? You're on a good streak right now. Anything like that?
Typically not really.
Yeah.
I mean, my day is pretty standard, just coming to the field. I mean, whether it be doing a camp or kind of just getting to the field when everybody has to, but sitting in the pen, making sure I stay locked in the pen for however long the game's going.
And you've come in a couple of outings in very, very difficult situations. You've come in twice with bases loaded. When you come into a situation like that, or even just regularly, what's your mindset like? What's your approach out there on the mound?
I mean, I know it's there. Typically just pretty much getting in, throwing strikes. I mean, that's what I've had to do, and it's what I'll try to continue to do.
And I think for a lot of people who might not be familiar with you and they see you, throwing, the submarine style, when did that kind of start for you? When did you start to figure out that was kind of for you?
I mean, I got recruited to URI as a center fielder, actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I dropped down the end of my sophomore year. My coaches gave me a bullpen. They kind of wanted to see where to go with it.
Yeah.
So they worked with me a little bit, and then following summer, just kept working on it, and then just going back to school, continuing to work on that, and then it just felt natural to me, to where the point where throwing up here was less natural than coming down here.
Right. So that was your natural motion, just starting out.
Yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you get another save here tonight, and do the guys kind of give you any crap kind of like in the bullpen, knowing that you kind of become this guy?
They just call me weird.
Yeah.
that's as much as I could say. They just call me weird that I'm slinging it from down here.
Right.
And it's not really typically normal, but it works.
It works. It definitely does work. Still have not given up a hit or a run yet, and we love to see it. It's obviously doing you a lot of good, and we hope to see more of it in the future. Tyler Brocious is joining us here on the Braves post-game show. The Braves get the big 4-1 win over the Chatham Anglers. Off tomorrow, going to Fenway for Rougouts, then come back to action on Friday. So for everybody here, I'm Jordan Palacio signing off tonight. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.